Yeah, I just took shots for no reason.
That's not a shot. I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
So,
Sorry.
Hey, by the way, opera is 400 years old. Ballet is 500 years old. Somebody named Timothée Chalamet had the nerve, big guy, by the way, had the nerve to say on camera that nobody cares about it. I'm sure you can walk into an opera theater right now. Seats will be filled out, and nobody's saying a word as the performance is going because everybody has that much respect for it. There is an etiquette around opera. There is etiquette around ballet. It's amazing.
Imagine saying one sentence during an interview. Not an insult, not a scandal, not a crime, just a casual comment. The room laughs. The host moves on. The conversation continues. But a few hours later, something strange begins to happen. Your words start appearing everywhere. Short clips of the moment begin spreading across social media. People start debating what you meant. Some defend you. Others accuse you of disrespect. Celebrities begin responding publicly. Artists feel insulted. Memes appear. And suddenly, your name is trending across the entire internet. Now imagine realizing that millions of people are arguing about your words. And some of them even believe those words might cost you the biggest award in Hollywood. That is exactly the situation Timothée Chalamet suddenly found himself in. What began as a simple discussion about movies quickly turned into a global debate involving ballet, opera, famous celebrities, and even the Academy Awards. And the deeper people looked into it, the more complicated the story became. Because this wasn't just about one joke. It raised a bigger question that artists everywhere started asking. Did he insult entire art forms? Or did the internet completely misunderstand him? To understand why the internet exploded over this moment, we need to go back to where it all started. The interview that started everything. During a conversation about the future of movies, Timothée was discussing something that filmmakers talk about constantly. You've probably heard it before. Support cinema. Go watch movies in theaters. Save the film industry. It's something actors, directors, and studios say all the time. But Timothée had a different perspective. He explained that when a movie is truly exciting, audiences don't need to be convinced. People will naturally show up. And honestly, he had examples. Look at films like Barbie and Oppenheimer. Nobody had to beg audiences to watch them. The excitement built on its own. Trailers spread everywhere. Memes appeared. Friends started telling friends to go see them. Soon entire theaters were packed. The hype created itself. So his argument was simple. If a film truly connects with people, the audience will come without being asked. At this point, the conversation was completely normal. But then, the discussion took an unexpected turn. The comparison that changed everything. While explaining his point, Timothée compared the movie industry to other art forms that sometimes rely heavily on public support campaigns. And that's when he mentioned something that would later spark the entire controversy. Ballet, opera. He explained that he personally wouldn't want to work in an industry where artists constantly feel like they have to beg people to keep it alive. An industry where creators are essentially waving a flag saying, "Please support this, please come watch this, please keep this art alive." Almost immediately, he tried to soften the statement. He said he had respect for those art forms. But then, he made a joke, a quick throwaway line that would soon be replayed thousands of times across the internet. He laughed and said he probably just lost 14 cents in viewership. Inside the room, people chuckled. It sounded like harmless humor. But online, People did not find it funny. The internet reacts. Within hours, the clip began circulating across social media. And once the internet got hold of it, the reactions exploded. Some people shrugged it off. To them, it was obviously a joke. An awkward one maybe, but still harmless. But other viewers heard something very different. To them, it sounded like a successful Hollywood actor was mocking art forms that have existed for hundreds of years. Art forms that millions of people dedicate their lives to. And that's when the backlash began. The first celebrity response. One of the earliest voices to jump into the debate was Doja Cat. She didn't ignore the situation. She addressed it directly. In her response, she talked about the dedication required to succeed in fields like dance and classical performance. Ballet dancers don't just show up and perform. They train for years. They wake up before sunrise. They practice for hours every day. Their bodies go through enormous physical strain. Many of them push through injuries, not because it's glamorous, but because they love the art. Her message was simple. Just because something isn't dominating pop culture headlines doesn't mean it isn't valuable. Artists still care. Fans still care. And millions of people around the world still attend performances. For many viewers, her response perfectly captured why the comment upset people. But the conversation was just getting started. When cultural institutions entered the debate, soon, organizations connected to those art forms began responding as well. One of the most notable reactions came from Royal Ballet and Opera. Instead of attacking Timothée, their response was surprisingly calm. They simply reminded people of something important. Ballet and opera are not small corners of culture. They are some of the oldest performing traditions in human history. For centuries, they helped shape theater, music, fashion, stage design, storytelling. Many elements that appear in modern entertainment actually originated from these traditions. In other words, even Hollywood owes part of its creative DNA to them. Their message wasn't angry. It was educational. These art forms are not dying relics. They are living tradition that continue to influence global culture. Another artist speaks out. Then opera singer Isabel Leonard added her voice to the discussion. Her reaction was direct. She said that artists should understand the value of other artistic disciplines. You don't have to personally love every type of art. That's normal. But dismissing another form of art, even as a joke, can send the wrong message, especially when that message reaches millions of people. For performers who already struggle to keep classical arts visible in modern culture, the comment hit a nerve. When Hollywood joined the debate, the controversy grew even bigger when Whoopi Goldberg weighed in. She pointed out something that many people had been thinking. Artists should understand the effort behind other artistic crafts. Because if anyone understands how difficult creativity can be, it's other artists. She also made an interesting observation. Sometimes people don't realize the impact of their words until the moment they leave their mouth. And by that time, it's already too late. The internet has clipped the moment, shared it, and turned it into a viral headline, which is exactly what happened here. The internet starts digging. Just when the situation seemed like it couldn't get more dramatic, internet users discovered something surprising. This wasn't the first time Timothée had compared movies to opera. Clips from older interviews began resurfacing, including appearances on The Graham Norton Show. Some of the clips dated all the way back to 2019. And in those conversations, he made similar comparisons while discussing the future of cinema. Suddenly, people began asking a new question. Why does he bring up ballet and opera so often? Was it just coincidence? Or does he genuinely see them as examples of art forms that struggle to stay mainstream? The internet turns it into memes. Of course, once the internet finds a story like this, memes appear immediately. Some users joke that Timothée must have a secret rivalry with ballet dancers. Others sarcastically asked if someone from the opera world broke his heart. The situation quickly transformed from serious debate into viral entertainment. But behind the jokes, a real discussion was happening. Many fans believed the backlash was unfair. They argued that his words were taken out of context. When you watch the full interview, they said, it becomes clear he wasn't attacking ballet or opera. He was simply explaining how different industries attract audiences in different ways. Movies rely on mass popularity. Ballet and opera often rely on tradition and dedicated communities. Two very different systems, two different audiences. Supporters argued he was pointing out those differences, not insulting them. But even some defenders admitted something important. The wording of the joke didn't help, because once the internet grabs a single sentence, that sentence becomes the headline, and the rest of the conversation disappears. Just when people thought the story couldn't grow bigger, another twist appeared. The 2026 Best Actor Oscar race. Before the controversy began, many prediction markets had Timothée as the clear favorite. But after the viral backlash, speculation began spreading online. Could this controversy hurt his chances at the Academy Awards? Suddenly, another name started appearing in predictions. Michael B. Jordan. Within days, people were claiming the controversy might shift the race. But there was one small detail many people overlooked. Oscar voting had already closed. The ballots had already been submitted, meaning the voters had already made their decisions before the controversy even started trending. In other words, the internet drama couldn't change the outcome. The result had already been decided. But by that point, the story had become bigger than the interview itself. It turned into a global conversation about art, movies, dance, opera, theater, music. Every art form survives in its own way. Some rely on huge audiences. Others rely on passionate communities. Neither is better. They simply exist in different cultural spaces. But when those worlds collide in public conversations, misunderstandings can happen very quickly. And in the age of social media, those misunderstandings can travel across the planet in minutes. Interestingly, Timothée hasn't made any dramatic response to the controversy. His social media activity hasn't slowed down. He continues posting photos and updates as if everything is normal. Some fans interpret that as confidence. Others believe he's choosing to ignore the noise. Either way, the internet is still watching. Because the debate isn't over. Was this just a harmless joke blown out of proportion? Or did it reveal how parts of Hollywood view traditional art forms? People on both sides have strong opinions. And now, the most interesting opinion is yours. Do you think Timothée Chalamet was misunderstood? Or do you believe the backlash from the ballet and opera communities was justified? And when it comes to the Best Actor race, who deserves the award more? Timothée Chalamet or Michael B. Jordan? Tell me what you think in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of the internet's most unexpected celebrity controversies, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who loves entertainment stories. Because the next viral moment could be even bigger.